Oh, there you are, YouTube. So I'm trying to catch up on Oscar-nominated movies, which means today I'm going to be watching Don't Look Up on Netflix. It's a Best Picture nominated movie. That's where I'm starting, Best Picture, and then if I have time, branch out. Don't have a lot of time. But today, Tracy's coming over, so I will have a guest reviewer. You may remember Tracy from other films like that Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. What else? We watched The Wicker Man, and I believe some other films, but she'll be here watching the film as well, and let's get to it. Let's watch Don't Look Up. So Tracy, what did you think of Don't Look Up?
That's what you're gonna ask me? I can't believe they started making it before the pandemic.
A lot of parallels.
Yeah, and also, this could be controversial, but no, I can't say it. I don't know.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna talk about how it made me feel.
Okay, let's do that.
It was very well, but only at the end. The whole movie, you're like having a good time. It's like, oh, this is funny. Oh, I get that reference. Oh, I get that reference. You know, they're like playing on different political figures, commentators of our world, and it's just kind of like funny to point those things out. It's kind of fun pointing them out.
Albeit maybe a bit too on the nose at times.
Yeah, very on the nose, very heavy-handed. But, you know, you're still laughing at it because it's sort of presented in a funny way.
I know what that is.
Right, yeah, like, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah.
So, you're having a good time, plus you're with your friends, you're enjoying this film, right? Almost any movie we watch, I feel like even if it's bad, when we're watching it together, we're always having a really good time.
Sure.
So, it was very, very good. And then the end, I don't know if I should give anything away, but I almost actually didn't even think about how the movie was going to end while watching the movie.
Okay, that's where we differ.
Yeah, because you were like, I wonder how this is going to end. Oh, shoot, there's after the credits stuff.
Be right back.
So there's an after credits scene. Make sure you stick around for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just talking about how we differed where, as I was watching it, I really wasn't, and I think this is odd, I think normally I was never questioning, like, I wonder how the movie's going to end until you said...
I've been thinking the whole time, I've been wondering how the movie's going to end, comparing it to Another Earth of Melancholia in my head.
Right.
Also Seeking a Friend for the End of the World,
which I haven't seen.
Lighter. Oh.
Yeah, is that with Keira Knightley and Michael Scott? Or
yes.
is that the show? Okay.
Steve Carell.
Right.
I was so confused, I was like, who's Michael? Yeah. Yeah, because that one, am I allowed to say this? All three of those movies show, like, unless I'm forgetting about Another Earth. It's been a long time. But yeah, they show the end, or at least they show, like, they have the real impending build-up.
Right.
And they all have different kinds of tones.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, how are they going to play it this time?
Yeah. And I don't know why I wasn't thinking about it, because I feel like that's normally something I would do. But... yeah, when you mentioned it, I started, coming up with theories, like what might happen. I was completely wrong with my theories. But I guess spoilers now. Sort of, I guess. I'll get into spoilers, not immediately. But we're having a good time. We're having fun watching this movie.
Yucking it up.
And, like, there's just this moment that happens where they suck the air out of the room. And then you're just watching it in silence, almost feeling ashamed. I did, that you were having such a good time laughing at this movie.
Sure.
And you're just sitting there watching the world fall apart. These characters...
dance until the world ends.
Yeah, and watching these characters that we've followed die. And you're just like, oh... it just became bleak all of a sudden.
Like, I did not expect Timothy Chalamet to go that way.
Right. I didn't expect Timothy Chalamet to be in the movie, and then when he was in the movie, I didn't expect him to have such a small part.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. Because he's such a star.
Yeah, but he still looks like a little boy.
Yeah, he's a little guy. Like a teenager.
Yeah. Oh, also we have to mention the Signs dinner scene.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like it's like Signs and this movie veered off at the same point. Where the Signs dinner scene, they didn't eat the dinner.
Right.
They didn't end up eating the dinner. The attack happened, and then they fought it and ostensibly won.
Right.
And then this one,
The dinner.
they're actually having the dinner,
Eating it.
yeah, kind of pretending like things aren't happening, but then also having to acknowledge it at a certain point.
Right.
And then that's when kind of shit gets really real with the movie.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, we're not watching a comedy anymore.
Yeah. And that's
That
when
was a real...
like my stomach started hurting or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just wasn't...
Like a tonal shift.
Yeah. Giant tonal shift, sort of anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Like...
But it would be weird if it weren't anxiety inducing.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. Like I just had like an anxious feel.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I think was purposeful. It was just very affecting. And I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all just shut up and watched the end. And it was
Like,
sad or something. Sad? I don't know. I just didn't feel right.
it was real.
Yeah.
Because of everything all of our fears now, it seemed like too real.
Right.
Whereas if we'd watched it a few years ago, it wouldn't have had the same effect, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I think
And
it was amped.
And you just have to wonder how much Adam McKay was aware of that.
Right.
Was it accidental, or was he really aware of how it would feel?
Right. I think he would have been.
Yeah.
Because it almost parallels, like, Tyler Perry's character in this. Tyler Perry's character is just having a good time the whole time, masking any sort of reality. Mm-hmm. And Kate Blanchett, her character also, they're like these news anchors. And they're actually, so many of the characters, I don't know why I'm just singling the two of them out, are just masking the realities. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you're doing while watching the movie because it's so funny. Mm-hmm. And then it flips at the end in tone, and it's, ugh. Mm-hmm. And then I just felt so weird afterwards. Like, when the credits were rolling, we were kind of like, that was...
You know what the feeling is?
No, I'm having
dread.
trouble. Dread, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's dread.
Yeah. A sense of dread. Doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because dread is a weird feeling because it's not a reaction to something that's happening immediately. It's a reaction to something that is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of nostalgia.
Oh, right. Ooh.
And nostalgia is like also like an acutely painful feeling, but in like an opposite way.
Yeah.
And dread is like, this is going to happen and I'm feeling it now and I know it's going to happen, but I won't be able to feel it after it happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like pre-feeling. Feeling.
Yeah. Yes. Dread is a good word.
I never
for
thought
that.
about dread and nostalgia being related at all.
Yeah,
but
they are very related. Like you said, the
they're like both painful in a different
painful.
kind of way.
One is like the longing, longing for.
One is the impending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wishing it wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. Also, I guess, so all of that happened, and then, more spoilers here, the movie takes this giant sci-fi leap. I mean, it was already pretty science fiction, but science possibility, right?
Science prediction.
Science prediction. But then it, like, goes into pure science fiction at the end, and it just became like a cartoon. And I was like, oh, I'm surprised this is nominated for Best Picture, because this is very odd, and it just seemed very...
It was a little bit like
sophomoric or something.
Elbow Nudge, Twilight Zone. Kind of thing.
But like too silly. I mean,
Yeah, but...
I don't know if I didn't like it, but it was much sillier than I was expecting this movie to go.
Listen, it's just why it's not going to win Best
Yeah,
Picture.
it's exactly why it's not going to win. That sole reason. It goes to like, what was it? How 27,000 years into the future?
22,000 something.
Yeah. Goes so far into the future because some of the higher ups, the super wealthy and everything, get on a ship and then go to a Goldilocks planet.
And just escape pods.
Yeah, escape pods, and then they land on a planet, and then it's like, okay,
and
we can rebuild here. Not Tatooine. It's very almost Avatar. Not really, but somewhat. And then
no cat face.
Yeah, no cat-faced people. But we do have like some of the other animals on Pandora look very similar.
It's really similar to Kevin from Up.
Yes, Kevin from Up then attacks Meryl Streep and like eats her face off and then pecks at her body a little bit, and it's just kind of like, this took a turn, another turn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was funny. It was just kind of like weird.
It was a Tiger King situation. It would be funny if it weren't so realistic.
Right.
Even though you haven't seen Tiger King.
Right, but I get what you're saying though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it just was such a cartoon image at the end after what you just felt. And I was like, I don't know if I needed that.
Sure.
But it was kind of funny to see at the same time. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's nice to see a bad character get theirs, you know?
Right.
And that was satisfying, but the way it happened was a little bit, okay, like, guys.
Yeah, this is a little silly. Little silly.
Yeah. Was that gonna be an accent, or was that an accent?
Oh, I don't think so. Just kind of like, hi voice, a different voice. It was a little silly.
Hi voice. A different voice.
A different voice.
Oh my god, that's good.
But it was cool to see Leonardo DiCaprio in a made-for-TV movie. So
that was to call it that.
That was a joke I made before we watched the movie because it's a Netflix movie, but they've certainly upped their game.
Okay, here's what was interesting about Leonardo DiCaprio in that he wasn't cool. And he wasn't the main character because it was an ensemble.
Yeah.
So to watch him be a fucking dork that people weren't taking seriously all the time.
Yeah.
Was kind of interesting because during the movie I kept wondering, like, are 20-year-old women, are 20-year-olds still finding this guy attractive?
At this point? Yeah. Or at least in this movie?
Yeah, but they must be because he's always getting those models.
Right, always. But it is weird that he's a dork in this because, you know, we see him as a supporting character in Django Unchained, which he should have been, was he nominated for? Should have won for? Maybe? I don't know.
Just because of the real blood?
Yeah, the real blood. Also, just watching him be a supporting character, because I just feel like that's not him, so that was cool to see.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, and here, very ensemble, but, and I feel like we don't think of him as that. We think of him as a direct lead. And he's still the lead here, lead of the ensemble, but very dorky.
Yeah,
which was
he doesn't...
felt like a stretch, because we don't see that, yeah. So
yeah, he probably still is a lead, but he's not like demanding spotlight like some leads do, or he does in other movies. Like it felt like it was kind of more understated or subtle.
Yeah, he like was stripped of his movie star status. Yeah, because that I think exists in a lot of his roles, like Wolf of Wall Street, his movie star status. When he's in Django, I feel like his movie star status
it's still
helps
showing,
that.
Even if it's a smaller role.
But it doesn't really seem like it's showing here much.
That's exactly right, and it's
like,
really interesting to
like
see.
You see his skill.
That was actually one of the most interesting parts of the movie.
Yeah, just looking at him and thinking, this is funny.
But I always wonder if something like that, is it taking me out of the movie because I'm thinking about him acting in the role?
Yeah.
Or am I enjoying it because it's different than I'm used to?
Yeah. I think you can do... They both exist. I think they both do. Because I was thinking about his acting a lot. Mm-hmm. And the way he was being presented.
Not really almost anybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe Meryl Streep.
A little.
That was a weird character for her.
Yeah, because it was almost like she was in like a stoner film or something.
It was kind of a caricature, honestly. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be a popular opinion, but...
No, I think you're right. She was very over the top. She was very slapstick. I don't know if slapstick's the right word, but very...
Actually, okay, that's a problem I have with
spoofy?
Yeah, that's a problem I have with satirical movies. The line is so small for spoofy parody and like satirical smart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And make it like believable enough that the movie is like compelling or something like
Right. And doesn't make your eyes roll.
Out of my head.
Out of my head. So much so that you can hear them. Mm-hmm. That's what I think sometimes with these types of movies. It's like, okay, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
like
they're hitting us over the head with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know they're doing that intentionally.
I know.
So
it's very
is
meta.
it okay?
It's very meta. I
That's
know.
the weird thing.
If you're aware of it, is it okay?
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're being manipulated, is it okay because you're aware of it, but you're still letting it manipulate you?
Right. Yeah. So I don't even know what I think of this movie. I mean, we had a lot of fun.
I think maybe you knew a little more before we started talking about it.
Right. I think you're right. I feel like I mean, we had a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And like, I'm not wanting to die immediately after ending.
Right. And this discussion's been good.
Yeah.
During at the end.
Yeah.
During at the end. It was
the sweet release.
Yeah.
Of death.
My gut just didn't feel right.
Yeah, it was kind of
sinking.
messed up. It was kind of messed up.
Yeah. Maybe not everybody felt that way though.
Right. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. I think that's good though, right? Do you want to do the goodbye?
Yeah. Am I going to know what to do?
Mm-hmm. You've watched enough of my videos.
Mm-hmm. And hold on, I forget it.
Thank you so much for watching this review with me and Tracy, our guest reviewer today.
Mm-hmm. And
uh-huh.
Next, join us.
And
perhaps we'll see you soon.
Tomorrow.
For more pure hangout.
Sorta nailed it.
That was the dumbest